Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Diamond. Welcome to X. Welcome to a very early match reaction for last night's match. But yeah, yeah. Look, what you can always guarantee about me, Tammy, is I'm never late. I'm always early. That is a pet peeve I have. I hate being late. I always prefer to be early, and I'm trying to wrap this up because unfortunately I've got things I've got to do pretty soon. So yeah, I need to get on with it. Unfortunately today, we played poorly against Port Vale, but won in the end. Port Vale is the first game we played without a player getting injured. I would, well, there's some knocks, but yeah, there's no proper big injury at the moment, but there are some knocks that we got last night. As I said on the match preview, it was never going to be an easy game. It's a cold night in Stoke, and it was cold. it was a very good atmosphere, in all fairness, at Vale Park. The home fans were brilliant. The away fans were brilliant. It was what I expected. Port Vale, they had a free hit. They've turned around their league form, and then they're getting some results in the league form, which is great for them. And they were up again. They were up for it against us, and I was fairly impressed with some of their players. I thought they put in a really, really good effort, and Darren Moore should be very, very pleased with those players. And I hope that now this helps them progress into the season because they've got some good players there, really hard working. There was some wrestling matches I felt last night. Curtis had a few scuffles, which is quite funny for me because the lower leagues are well known for being tougher. But we actually kind of brought the fight to him last night, which is quite funny. But anyway, overall, the performance wasn't great by Arsenal. You'll see on one of the slides that I do how bad we were against a League One outfit, or also how good a League One outfit was against us. It's either way you want to look at it, but in my opinion, I didn't think we were great last night. Some players were decent, some players were poop. So that's how I'm going to go. Anyway, let's start with the positives. Obviously, we won the 2-0. We're through to the fourth round, playing Brighton at home the next round. That's a positive. Eze getting his first goal for Arsenal. Positive. And Trossard finishing it off late on. But there definitely was, some moments, let's say, that I was not amused with. Downman, first player to give Gyökeres a proper through ball, says a lot about our system. Correct. This is where people need to look. Gyökeres is not going to have an amazing game every game. He's not. But he's also not suited to our system. Now, you can see why Arteta wanted another striker, not Gyökeres, and Berta wanted Gyökeres. Gyökeres is actually the proven goal scorer. He's in his prime. There isn't much unknown about him. With Sesko, a lot of unknowns, and he also plays in a different style of football, which would probably suit Arteta. But at the end of the day, we want trophies now. None of this, but we'll give him another 2 seasons and he'll soon get... No. This is a now thing now. Anyway, that was Saka's evil, mediocre twin out there. Yeah, it wasn't a great game for him. I can't remember who he was up against. Wasn't up against Gabriel, was he? Oh, one of their... what was his name? Oh, I cannot think of his name. But whoever was marking him last night did a fantastic job. Really good Port Vale effort, in my opinion. Big up to my pod brother. That wasn't great for you. No, it was awful. It was freezing cold. The Port Vale fans were absolutely outstanding. The Arsenal away fans were brilliant as well. I think for anyone that watched the game, should have been at the game because the actual atmosphere was incredible. The game was just poor from Arsenal's point of view. But yeah, it is what it is. And we move on. we move on. Let's see what happens at the weekend. But I'll be honest, prepare yourselves for pretty much the same against Newcastle, because I wasn't impressed. But big up to AFC 777. He did predict this as a 2-0. I went for 2-1, but AFC 77 got it right. So big up to you. Anyway, let's get on to the stats so we can wrap this up as quick as we can, because it is a Thursday morning, very early. Possession 19% for Port Vale, 81 for Arsenal. Not that we did much with it. 11 shots, 4 on target for Arsenal, 3 shots for them, 0 on target, 1 corner for them, 6 for us. Total shots had 11, as I said, for us. 5 were blocked, 7 inside the box, 4 outside the box. For Port Vale, it's 3 shots, 2 blocks, 2 inside the box, 1 outside the box. The Devante Cole's shot, I'll be honest, that deserved the goal. I was off my seat watching that shot. That was very good. XG 0.09 for Port Vale, 0.04 for Port X open play, 0.05 for set play. For Arsenal, it was 0.98 for XG, 0.97 for open play, 0.02 for set play. XG on target for Arsenal was 1.14, 0 for Port Vale. Passes, incredibly good accuracy from Arsenal, 93% compared to Port Vale, 63%. Touches in opponent's box, 15 for Port Vale, 31 for Arsenal. All the other stats are there, but we nearly had 800 passes in that game. They had nearly 200. Yeah. Like I said on the preview yesterday, I would be very disappointed if we didn't have 60% of the possession. We had 81. So yeah. Tackles 156 for Port Vale, 83 for Arsenal. Interceptions 4 for them, 3 for us. Clearances 22 clearances we had, 18 for Port Vale. 1 keeper save and 2 for Port Vale. This is the bit that annoyed me. We lost duels. We didn't just lose duels. We lost every single duel there was, in terms of category. So overall, we lost 55%. Ground duels 51 to 49. 62 aerial duels. Aerial against a League One team. And people are going to. I guarantee people are out there going, "Oh, we're through to the next round." That's what's important. The fine details are important, because these fine details are important for the progress that we need to make during the season. For me, every little detail counts. Top performers, all Arsenal. Lewis Skelly was the top performer according to the system that I trust. Eze, then Saliba, Waneri, then Mosquera. Touches, Saliba 135 touches, Mosquera 115. It tells you everything when you can see the all our back five, including our DM, were the highest touches. That categorically states everything about that game last night and how boring it was. Anyway, let's get into the starting lineup. Big up the 40 people that are watching at this time in the morning. Honestly, you're all mad, just like I am, for doing this stream this early. Anyway, starting lineup was Kepa, White, Saliba, Mosquera, Lewis Skelly, Norgard, Marino, Waneri, Saka, Martinelli, and Marino up front. Yep, we'll move swiftly on from the starting lineup. Look, I was disappointed that Dalman didn't start. I was disappointed we didn't have more youth on the bench. That is my down, and I will be marking him down for that, because I don't expect them to play, but I expect them to be given a chance in this kind of cup tie. This is the kind of cup tie you can just take the kids with you. You don't have to play them, but be around the match day experience. So yeah, been slightly disappointed in that area, if I'm honest. But anyway, I don't mean the whole bench, but just like a couple. A couple wouldn't have been too much of an issue personally. But hey ho, it is what it is. Right, let's do ratings. Kepa gets he did nothing. When he was called upon for passing back, he was there. So I'll give him a 7 for that. Why 7? It wasn't his greatest game, and it wasn't his worst. Saliba did very well. 8. Mosquera gets a 7. Lewis Skelly for me gets an 8. I thought, yeah, he's on par with Saliba. Norgard gets a 7. Did exactly what I expected of him. Why have I put Marino twice? Eze is meant to be there. I do apologise. Eze gets 8. Waneri gets an 8 as well, because I thought Waneri was very good. Now he dropped the marks. Saka gets a 6. Martinelli gets a 6. Marino gets a 6. I can't score them highly. So yeah, let's have a look at what we're saying. I'm glad Norgard is back. People forget he's a solid Premier League proven player. Temi, I hate systems, mate. It's yeah. Why don't we get caught in shot by our wingers? Why are they always going to the far line to cross with their weak foot always across front? Well, there you go. Nana, I got no words. This is kind of what we're trying to do, is try and change this system. However, we did fail in one of the main objectives in the summer. It's just not good. Look, everyone will always say, "Oh, the players," and for some reason protect Arteta at all costs. But this is Arteta's system. He's the one that chooses this. He's the one that does the training. He's the one that does everything. The players follow orders. Rightly so. That is exactly what they should be doing. But the orders are not very good at the moment, in my opinion. So, yeah. Temi's gone with ratings. Kepa 7, defence 8, Norgard 7, Marine Slow 5, Waneri 7, Eze gets a 9, Martinelli gets a 6, Saka gets a 4, subs Trossard 8, Gyökeres 5. Arteta couldn't destroy a League One team. See, I was hopeful after the early goal from Eze. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Handbrake off. Here we go. No, because what I would have thought it'd do the controlled system until we broke them, and then just go gung ho. But he didn't. He's honestly, he's going to lose fans. Even the die-hard ones, he's going to lose them. Arteta's style is just get the best out of our attackers. I'm getting that isn't getting. Yeah, it's definitely not working attacking wise. Anyway, let's quickly rate the subs. So Dowman gets a 7. I thought again, just impressive as always from the young lad. I think he broke another record last night for the youngest appearance or whatever. So well done to Max. Gabriel came on. Yeah, I've got no words when he does this, but hey, maybe it was resting white. I don't know. Yeah. Gabriel came on. I'll be honest. It'll be the same with Gyökeres in a minute. Nothing fantastic, but nothing horrible. So Gabriel gets a 6. Gyökeres gets a 6 because again he came on but didn't do any. He had one good opportunity which was given to him by Max. Now I heard there was some things being said about Gyökeres should have pulled the trigger quicker. From what I saw, I thought it was very good defending personally, but at the end of the day, Gyökeres is a good striker. But last night, Port Vale were fighting. Well, it felt like a relegation battle for Port Vale, where they were just fighting for their lives. They were really impressive last night. I wish I could do ratings for them because I was actually really impressed with Port Vale last night. A lot of the players I actually highly rated as well, and it's like, man, really am impressed. And I hope they do well now because that was. And I love Darren Moore as well because he's just a great coach. But anyway, Rice came on. He did come on for long enough, but I can't give him like anything crazy. So an average. People think 5 is a bad score. It's not. It's an average score. So Rice is going to get 5, and Trossard gets a 6 because he scored the second. So, and it's a good finish. And Trossard does exactly what he does when he comes off the bench, and I love it. And that's how we should keep him off the bench. Same as Martinelli, just take him off the bench, which is why we still need that left winger. But anyway, Arteta, look, he got us through to the 4th round. Didn't take the handbrake off though, so that down score for that. Didn't put any youth on the bench, down score for that. 5. I'm with Timmy on this 5. But that's that. Look, we're through to the next round. That's the important. We got Brighton at home, so we move on. At least we're not knocked out, and we didn't have a Grimsby moment. But what will be happening is on Saturday night will be the Newcastle preview. On Sunday will be the Newcastle watch along, followed by the match reaction, probably about 45 an hour later. So that's what's coming up this weekend. And I think next week is Olympiacos. So yeah, we will continue to do content for you wonderful people. So yeah, speak to you all very, very soon. Enjoy your day. And I'm going to try and warm up. See you later. Bye-bye.